Welcome to the channel. I'm Nicky2Jobs. I appreciate you stopping by for the inaugural video. Today I have some posts on Reddit that I thought would be interesting to go over. If you like this type of content, please like and subscribe. There will be plenty more of it. Let's get into it. So let's get into it. We're starting here with someone who was recently laid off at the end of last year. A lot of folks are hesitant to post things on LinkedIn because they don't want to sound desperate or have anyone feel sorry for them. Um, and I'm sure there's been plenty of situations where it hasn't worked out. However, this person found that after updating it to a second post, so this wasn't their first post, it was their second post, two of their friends shared it on LinkedIn. And after that, they had 5 people reach out to them saying that they saw their friend share the post and they wanted to talk to him to see if they were still interested in finding work. So this can be extremely effective. The way connections work on LinkedIn, they're pretty exponential. So I probably have close to 2,500 connections on LinkedIn as a first degree connection. And then when you look at my third degree connections, it's well over 200,000. So you never know who's going to get to look at your post if you have some friends that will share them, and it definitely can increase the viewership from that. It's great to see a positive ending like this. This next post here is actually something that's pretty fairly common. This person has gotten through the interview process. The company has requested the references, which is a great sign. It's usually the end of the very end of the interview process. However, they feel that there's other candidates that could also make it through the round and likely have. And then they were told that they'd be hearing back by the end of the week. So the end of the week has come. They haven't heard back yet. There can be a few things happening here. They're waiting to get approval on salary compensation, that kind of thing, to be able to extend an offer to you. Or on the other hand, they may be also talking to other candidates and trying to see if they can close one of those candidates who they're choosing to go with. It's not always the case, and it doesn't necessarily mean that the job is out of your hands. It just means that they may have picked someone ahead of you. Whether or not that person accepts the offer still would remain to be seen. So until someone says that you're not in contention for a role anymore, I would consider yourself still in contention. However, the sooner you hear back about something, and if they can stick with the timeline that they gave you, it's really the best signs possible. If not, there are different factors that can go into it, unfortunately. This one I thought was kind of funny, but also I understand. So they're a little frustrated that they've had 2 or 3 interviews that were just supposed to be phone interviews, but then they ended up being video chat interviews. They wanted to be in their pajamas holding the phone, which, could make them feel more comfortable and less stressed out, which is definitely reasonable. What I would say is it's possible to ask if you have a legitimate reason to not do the video interview and you would like to just do a phone interview. I don't know if it would necessarily be taken as like being difficult, especially if you have a good reason. That being said, if you can, you know, deal with being on camera, I feel like you have a better chance of making a personal connection with the person that you're speaking with. The last job that I got, I had a video interview and I had my cat walk across the screen in the middle of trying to answer a serious question. And 2 years later, while I was talking to my manager about it, we still laughed about it, and it ended up being something that made me stand out. In this post, I'll kind of just briefly go through it. This person applied for a job. They had a screening interview with someone laying out the details. They were rejected for that job. and they applied to another one on the company website, they are going to have another interview for that company, but it's with the same person they already spoke with. It's just making them a little nervous to be speaking with the same person. So I wouldn't be nervous. This is something that is fairly common. They may only have one person that does initial screening interviews, and the fact that you were a fit for two different jobs isn't a bad thing. They might just have some different questions to ask. There might be a different hiring manager involved that's feeding them questions to ask. So it could be a little bit different. And if anything, if you made a good impression with this person, it can only help you. And I would just have maybe a good icebreaker ready to go, because if you don't, it could be a little awkward, but definitely not a bad thing here. This one, I'm sure, is a very common question. The job is no longer available on LinkedIn, but showing up on their website as one of the jobs available. What do I do? Well, you definitely still apply to the job on the company website. As a recruiter, using LinkedIn, the way the job ads work is you put forth a budget, and after a certain amount of candidates apply to the job is no longer available for new applicants. That being said, if they have a company website, it's free for them. So where they may have had a lot of unqualified people applying to their job on LinkedIn, it still gives you the opportunity to apply on their website. So definitely apply on their website. That's going to go directly to them anyways. And a lot of times on LinkedIn jobs, from someone who's posted them before, applicants can get kind of lost in the mix there. But most likely on their website, it's going to go directly to them through the systems that they have set up. Kind of a sad note here. Layoffs surged 136% in January to the second highest level on record. That is very sad. I have a very simple opinion about layoffs. I think layoffs should be reserved for companies that are going to fail if they don't lay people off, not necessarily used as a tool to, no pun intended, surge your stock price, which in a copycat economic environment has become. But that's the world we're living in right now. It's very unfortunate. On the flip side of things, manufacturing and construction are hiring. We'll be taking a look at the jobs report a little bit later, and you'll see this is pretty accurate. There aren't enough people trained to fill the jobs. That's very true. I've been working on some manufacturing jobs, some industrial and skilled labor jobs. It's not easy to find people, but there are a lot of openings for those types of positions. That's going to be it for today. If you like what you saw, please like and subscribe. It helps a lot, and we'll see you the next time.